Hay stood at the back of the auction house, trying to make herself invisible. Her boots were worn through at the heels. Her jacket had a tear near the shoulder that she'd tried to patch with tape. She had exactly 3 credits left to her name. 3 credits. It was enough to buy a meal, maybe 2 if she picked the cheapest synthetic protein bars. Or she could buy a ticket back to Earth, where she'd have to face her family and admit she'd failed. Again. The auction house on Station 9 was filled with wealthy traders, with bodies made of crystal clicked and hummed as they examined their data tablets. They floated in their containment suits, their gaseous bodies swirling with colors that meant they were excited about the deals. The merchants stood tall on their reptilian legs, their scales gleaming under the station lights. They were all here for the good stuff: mining rights on asteroid belts, functional hangars near trade routes, salvage permits for derelict ships that still had valuable parts. Hay was here because she had nowhere else to go. 2 months ago, she'd been a freight captain. Nothing fancy, just running supplies between outer colonies. But then her cargo got seized because her employer hadn't paid the proper fees. The Galactic Union Banking Consortium took her ship to cover the debts. They didn't care that the debts weren't hers. They didn't care that she'd done everything right. Now she was blacklisted. No shipping company would hire a human with her record. No bank would give her a loan. No one would even rent her a cargo pod. The auctioneer, unnamed, stood at the front of the room. His crystalline body reflected the lights in rainbow patterns. His voice came out in a mechanical tone through his translator. Lot 46. Mining rights to Sector 9 Helios system. Starting bid, 15,000 credits. The bidding went fast. Some merchant won it for 32,000 credits. Hay tried not to feel bitter about it. That was more money than she'd ever had at one time. The auction continued. Everything sold for thousands or tens of thousands of credits. These people spent more on a single lot than Hay had earned in her entire career. She was about to leave when announced the last lot. Lot 63, hangar facility on Talus 3. He paused, and Hay could swear she heard boredom in his mechanical voice. The moon Talus 3 lost its atmosphere 800 cycles ago. The hangar has been abandoned since then. No power, no life support, structural integrity unknown. We make no guarantees about this property. Minimum bid, 3 credits. The room went silent. Then someone laughed. In the front row made a clicking sound that meant he thought it was ridiculous. "Any bids?" asked. He didn't sound hopeful. Hay's hand went up before she could think about it. "We have a bid, 3 credits to the human in the back. Any others?" More laughter. A containment suit flashed red with amusement. "Sold to the human for 3 credits." Hay walked to the front in a daze. She transferred her last 3 credits to the auction house account. In return, she received a data chip with the property deed and coordinates for Talus 3. "Good luck," said. There was no emotion in his voice, but Hay thought he might be mocking her. She left the auction house with the data chip clutched in her hand. She had no money, no ship, and now she owned a hangar on a dead moon. She was either the person in the galaxy or the most desperate. Probably both. The station's charity office gave her a voucher for a shuttle rental. They gave these to stranded travelers who needed to get somewhere, anywhere, just to get them off the station. Hay used it to rent a tiny one-person shuttle that barely had enough fuel to reach Talos 3 and come back. The flight took 6 hours. Hay spent the time staring at the data chip, wondering what she'd just done. The information was minimal. The hangar was built during Earth's expansion period, sometime before humans joined the Galactic Union. It had been registered, then forgotten. No one had filed a claim on it in centuries. Why had it been abandoned? Why had no one wanted it? Talos 3 appeared in the moon was and dead, covered in craters from centuries of meteor impacts. No atmosphere meant no protection. No magnetic field meant constant radiation. It was a horrible place. But there, half buried in the dust, was the hangar. Hay's breath caught. It was massive. The structure was made of one of the strongest materials humans had ever developed. Despite 800 years of meteor bombardment, it was still standing, still intact. She landed the shuttle near what looked like a maintenance airlock. The computer warned her about radiation levels, but they were survivable with a standard suit. Hay put on her pressure suit and checked the seals 3 times. Then she stepped out onto the dead moon. The gravity was low, about a third of Earth normal. She bounced slightly with each step, kicking up dust that settled slowly. The airlock was covered in dust, but the controls still showed faint power indicators. She brushed away the dust and found a manual override. It took all her strength to turn the handle, but finally the mechanism moved. The outer door opened with a hiss of ancient hydraulics. Inside was darkness, complete darkness. Hay turned on her helmet lamp and stepped through. The hangar was enormous. Her light couldn't reach the far walls. The ceiling was somewhere high above, lost in shadows. She saw support beams as thick as trees, covered in centuries of dust. On one wall she found markings. Human letters, worn almost smooth by time, but still readable. UNSC Developmental Facility Classified 2287. Hay's heart pounded. This was old. This was from before Earth joined the Galactic Union, from the time when humans thought they were alone in the universe, from when they prepared for threats they thought might come from the stars. She moved deeper into the hangar, following her instinct more than any plan. Her light swept across the floor, the walls, finding nothing but dust and emptiness. Then she saw it. A wall had collapsed, probably from a meteor strike that had shaken the whole structure. Behind it was a chamber, and in that chamber was something big. Hay moved closer. Her light reflected off metal, dark metal and scorched but intact. A ship. She ran her light along its hull. It was huge, bigger than any civilian vessel she'd ever seen. The design was brutal and angular, covered in plates of armor that overlapped like scales. No gentle curves, no decorative elements. This was built for one purpose. Near what looked like an entrance ramp, she found another plaque. The words made her hands shake. KSFF DAEHAN Prototype Class Destroyer. Hay knew this name. Every human knew this name. There was one of 3 prototype warships built during the Silent Century. They'd been sent on test runs and never came back. Lost in space, the record said. Not lost. Hidden. Hay climbed the entrance ramp, her legs shaking. The door was sealed, but there was a control panel. On instinct, she pressed her gloved hand against it. The panel lit up. Green light traced across her palm, scanning her biometrics. Text appeared on a small screen, in Korean and English. Human biometric DATACTED. Emergency power ACTIVATING. Welcome aboard. The door opened, and Hay stepped into her future. The air inside the ship was stale but breathable. Hay's suit sensors confirmed it, though she kept her helmet on anyway. Emergency lights flickered to life along the corridor, casting everything in dim red. The interior was nothing like modern ships. Modern ships had smooth walls, elegant curves, soft lighting. This ship had exposed pipes along the ceiling, metal grating on the floors, and walls covered in riveted armor plates. Everything was built thick and strong, built to take damage and keep going. Hay walked slowly down the main corridor. Her footsteps echoed in the silence. Doors lined both sides, all sealed. She passed what looked like crew quarters, an armory, storage bays. Everything was covered in dust, but nothing had decayed. The vacuum of space had preserved it all perfectly. She found the bridge at the end of the main corridor. The door was larger than the others, reinforced with extra plating. The control panel lit up when she touched it, and the door slid open with a low groan. The bridge was circular, with stations arranged around a central command chair. Old-style monitors and controls covered every surface. No holographic displays, no touch screens. Everything was physical, built to work even if the computer systems failed. Hay walked to the command chair and ran her hand over it. The material was worn but sturdy. Someone had sat here, commanded this ship, made decisions that affected the fate of nations. A holographic projector in the center of the bridge suddenly came to life. Hay jumped back, her hand going to the emergency cutter on her belt. The hologram formed into text, floating in the air. Korean characters appeared first, then English underneath. DAEHAN shipboard AI system active. Captain identification required. Hay stared at it. The ship had an AI. Those were rare even now, expensive and heavily regulated. But this ship had one, and it had been sleeping for over 700 years. I'm not Hay, she said. Her voice sounded small in the large bridge. Biometric scan complete. Species, human, authority code, absent. Military rank, none. Current ship status, no active captain. The text changed. Under UNSC Emergency Protocol 7, any human may assume command of an abandoned military vessel if no ranking officer is present. Do you wish to claim captaincy of this vessel? Hay's mind raced. This was insane. She was a freight hauler, not a military officer. She didn't know how to command a warship. She barely knew how to keep a cargo hauler flying. But what else did she have? 3 credits were gone. She had no job, no prospects, and nowhere to go. Yes, she whispered. Then louder, "Yes, I claim captaincy." The hologram shifted. The text disappeared, replaced by the image of a woman in an old-style UNSC uniform. She looked young, maybe 30, with short dark hair and sharp eyes. The image quality was perfect, as if she was really standing there. "Acknowledged," the woman said. Her voice was clear and precise. "I am Bora, the shipboard AI of the KSFF. Welcome aboard, Captain Nahe. It has been 742 years, 3 months, and 16 days since my last activation. Please stand by while I run system diagnostics." The lights on the bridge brightened. Monitors flickered to life, showing streams of data. Hay watched in amazement as the ancient ship woke up around her. "Diagnostics complete," Bora announced. "Main power offline, backup power at 15%. Life support minimal, engines in hibernation mode, weapons systems sealed and dormant. Hull integrity 96%. Overall assessment: this ship is functional but requires significant power restoration to achieve full operational status." How? Hay didn't know where to start. "How are you even working? This ship has been here for centuries." Bora's hologram tilted its head slightly. It was designed for deep space missions lasting decades. All critical systems were built with extreme redundancy and durability. My core processing unit is shielded against radiation and powered by a quantum battery that will last approximately 10,000 years. I have been waiting. Waiting for what? For someone to find this ship, for a human to claim it. Bora gestured, and a new hologram appeared. It showed a man in a captain's uniform, older, within his hair. "This is Commander, the last captain of the... Would you like to hear his final log?" Hay nodded, unable to speak. The hologram of Commander began to move and speak. It was a recording, played back perfectly after all these years. "This is Commander, final log entry. If you're hearing this, you're human and you found my ship. I'm sorry I had to hide her, but there was no choice. The Galactic Union has laws, they call them preservation protocols. They say it's to prevent war, to keep primitive species from developing dangerous weapons. But I've seen the truth. I've seen what's out there at the edge of the galaxy. I've seen what's coming. And when it arrives, humanity will need to fight. The Union won't let us build weapons like the anymore. They're afraid of us, afraid of what humans can do when we're cornered, so I hid this ship. I programmed Bora to wait for someone desperate enough, brave enough, or crazy enough to claim her, someone who needs her. The Union will call you a criminal. They'll say this ship is illegal, but check the laws carefully. The protocols ban developing new military technology. The is old, she's a relic, and relics are legal. Use her well. Remember that humans earned their place among the stars not because we're the strongest or we earned it because we never give up. Because when everything is against us, we find a way. Good luck, Captain. You're going to need it." The hologram faded. Hay stood in silence, her mind spinning. "Bora," she finally said. "What did he mean? What did Commander see?" "I'm sorry, Captain. That information is classified under UNSC security protocols. I can only reveal it to a captain who has formally registered this vessel with the appropriate authorities and demonstrated need-to-know clearance." Hay wanted to argue, but something else caught her attention. "You said the ship needs power. How much can we get it flying? We can achieve minimal flight capability with current backup power. However, for full systems, we would need to restart the main reactor. That requires external authorization codes, as the reactor is classified as a capital ship-grade military power source. So we're stuck here. Not necessarily. I have been analyzing Galactic Union law for the past 700 years. There are options. However, I should warn you, Captain. Ships that remain hidden tend to attract attention once they're discovered. As if on cue, Hayes' suit radio crackled to life. A harsh voice speaking in Galactic Common filled her helmet. Attention, unidentified human. This is the corporation salvage vessel Prophet's Edge. We have detected your shuttle on Talus 3. Under Galactic Union salvage law, any abandoned facility without a registered occupant for more than 500 years becomes open salvage. You are trespassing on our claim. Exit the structure immediately, or we will remove you by force. Hay looked at Bora's hologram. Are they serious? Bora's expression didn't change, but something in her eyes seemed almost amused. Quite serious, Captain. The corporation has filed a salvage claim on this hangar exactly 47 minutes ago. They were monitoring the auction. However, they are incorrect about one detail. What detail? This facility is not abandoned. It has a registered owner. You purchased it legally. And under Galactic Union law, property rights supersede salvage claims. The radio crackled again. Human, this is your final warning. Exit now. Hay felt something she hadn't felt in months. Not fear, not desperation. Anger. She'd spent her entire life following the rules. She'd done everything right and still lost everything. Now someone wanted to take the one thing she'd managed to buy. Bora, can we show them we're here? Some kind of signal. Bora smiled. It was subtle but definitely a smile. Captain, I can do better than that. I can show them what kind of ship they're threatening. Do it. The lights of the blazed to life. The external lights came online in sequence, running the length of the massive ship. Inside the dark hangar, it looked like a sleeping dragon opening its eyes. Through the bridge windows, Hay could see the walls of the facility illuminated for the first time in centuries. Broadcasting identification signal, Bora announced. The ship should receive it now. The radio went silent for a long moment. Then the voice came back, confused and angry. What kind of trick is this? That signal says you have a military vessel. Humans don't have military vessels. Hay grabbed the communications panel, figuring out the controls by instinct. This is Captain Nahay of the KSFF. This hangar is my legal property, purchased at public auction 3 hours ago. You are the ones trespassing. Leave immediately. That's impossible. Humans aren't allowed to own warships. Union law forbids it. Bora's hologram appeared next to Hay. May I, Captain? Hay nodded. Bora's voice came through the radio, crisp and professional. This is the shipboard AI. Under Galactic Union Preservation Protocols, Section 7, Paragraph 12, the restriction applies only to newly manufactured military vessels. That was constructed in Earth year 2287, making it 742 years old. It qualifies as a historical artifact. Furthermore, Preservation Protocol's Article 4 clearly states that existing vessels are exempt. We are in full compliance with Union law. Silence on the radio. They're checking the regulations, Bora said quietly to Hay. They'll find I'm correct. While they waited, Hay explored more of the bridge. Bora brought up displays showing different parts of the ship. It was enormous, much bigger than Hay had realized. 5 decks, crew quarters for 200 people, cargo bays, medical facilities, and engineering sections that looked like they belonged in a factory. And weapons, so many weapons. Bora, what kind of armament does this ship have? The AI pulled up a schematic. The is equipped with 8 rail guns, primary weapon systems, 12-point defense cannons, 4 torpedo tubes, and experimental energy shielding that was considered advanced even in my time. Rail guns, those are ancient. Ancient but effective, Captain. Modern ships use plasma weapons and lasers, which are very effective against energy shields. But the doesn't use energy shields. She uses physical armor, layered plating 1 meter thick in critical areas. Plasma weapons are less effective against solid armor. Meanwhile, our rail guns fire solid projectiles at tremendous velocity. They pass right through energy shields as if they don't exist. Hay was beginning to understand. We're designed to fight ships that are designed to fight each other. Exactly. Commander believed that modern space combat had become too specialized. Everyone optimized for the same tactics. The was built to exploit that. The radio crackled back to life. The voice was angrier now. We've consulted with our legal team. You may technically own the ship, but you can't possibly operate it. It's been dead for centuries. We're willing to offer you 50,000 credits for the salvage rights. 50,000 credits. A week ago, that would have been a fortune to Hay. It was more money than she'd ever seen. No, she said. Be reasonable, human. 100,000 credits, final offer. I said no. Then you're a fool. That ship is worthless without a crew, without fuel, without supplies. You'll starve in there before you get it working. Hay looked at Bora. How much do we need to get flying? Really flying, not just lights and life support. Bora's hologram flickered as she calculated. The main reactor can be activated using emergency protocols. I will need 4 hours to run pre-flight checks and warm up the systems. However, I must warn you, Captain. Once we activate the main reactor, every sensor in this sector will detect us. The Galactic Union will send investigators. There will be questions. Let them ask questions. This is my ship, my property. As you command, Captain. Initiating reactor startup sequence. Deep in the ship's core, systems that had slept for centuries began to wake. Hay felt a vibration through the deck plates. The emergency lights shifted to normal lighting. Monitors that had been dark came fully online. Captain, while we wait, there's something you should see. Commander left additional logs. Private ones, not meant for general access. I believe you need to understand what he discovered. Hay sat in the command chair. It adjusted to fit her automatically. Show me. Bora projected a new recording. Commander appeared again, but this time he looked exhausted and frightened. Private log, Commander, we've been out here for 3 months testing this long-range capabilities. 2 weeks ago, we detected something at the galactic rim. A signal, maybe, or a ship. We went to investigate what we found. I can't report this to Earth. They'll think I'm crazy. The Union will think I'm trying to start a war, but I saw it. A structure massive beyond comprehension, not a ship. A station, maybe, or a weapon. It was dormant, but I could tell it was old. Older than the Union. Older than any civilization we know, and it was moving. Slowly but definitely moving inward towards civilized space. I tried to get closer, but the sensors went haywire. Whatever that thing is, it doesn't follow physics as we understand them. I'm taking the ship back to Union space, but I'm not reporting this. Not yet. The Union will want to study it. They'll send science ships, unarmed and vulnerable. But that thing, if it wakes up, if it's hostile, we'll need weapons. Real weapons. I'm hiding the truth. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's nothing. But if I'm right, humanity will need every advantage we can get. The recording ended. Hay sat in silence, processing what she'd heard. Is it still out there? She asked quietly. I don't know, Captain. These long-range sensors have been offline for 7 centuries, but Commander's last sensor readings are in my data banks. If you wish, once we're fully operational, we could plot a course and investigate. Before Hay could respond, the radio exploded with noise. Multiple voices all shouting. All vessels, this is Galactic Union Control. We have detected an unauthorized reactor activation on Talus 3. All ships in the sector are ordered to form a perimeter. Do not approach. Repeat, do not approach. Bora pulled up external sensors. 6 ships were moving into position around the moon. The vessel was still there, but now it had been joined by 2 Union patrol ships, a merchant cruiser, and 2 smaller vessels Hay couldn't identify. They're surrounding us, Hay said, her earlier confidence wavering. Yes, Captain. I did warn you this would attract attention. What do we do? That depends. Do you want to own this ship, or do you want them to think you own it? What's the difference? Bora's hologram smiled again. The difference, Captain, is whether you're willing to show them what they can do. A new voice came over the radio, authoritative and cold. Unidentified vessel. This is Admiral of the Galactic Union Navy. You are operating a military-grade reactor without proper authorization. Power down immediately and prepare to be boarded. Hay's hands gripped the arms of the command chair. Everything she'd been taught told her to comply, to follow orders, to not make trouble. That's what she'd done her whole life, and where had it gotten her? She looked at the ships on the sensor display. They were positioning themselves to look threatening, but they hadn't activated weapons. They were trying to intimidate her. Maybe it was time to stop being intimidated. Bora status report. Main reactor at 60%. Engines warming up. Weapons systems still sealed. We can fly, but we can't fight. Not yet. Do we need to fight? That depends on them, Captain. Hay took a deep breath. Open a channel, all frequencies. Channel open. This is Captain Nahay of the KSFF. I own this ship legally. I purchased the hangar legally. I'm not doing anything wrong, but I'm also not powering down. This is my ship, and I decide when she sleeps and when she flies." The radio exploded with responses. Everyone was talking at once. "Silence," Admiral's voice cut through the chaos. "Human, you don't understand what you're dealing with. That ship is dangerous." Hay smiled. "Good, so am I." The standoff lasted for 3 hours. The Union ships maintained their perimeter around Talus 3 while more vessels arrived. Hay watched them gather on the sensors, feeling like a trapped animal surrounded by predators. But she wasn't trapped, though was nearly ready to fly. Bora kept her updated as systems came online one by one. Engines at 90%, navigation fully operational, structural integrity fields active. "We can leave whenever you give the order, Captain." "What about weapons?" "Still sealed. Commander locked them under protocols that require Union authorization codes or a declared state of emergency." "Great, so we can run but not fight." "Not exactly, Captain. The has other capabilities. Our armor, for instance, is active, and I have full control of maneuvering systems. In combat, sometimes the best weapon is simply not being where the enemy expects you to be." Through the communications channel, Hay could hear the Union officials arguing among themselves. Some wanted to let her go. Others insisted she be arrested. The corporation was demanding compensation for their failed salvage claim. Finally, Admiral spoke directly to her. "Captain Nahay, we've reviewed your claim. Legally, you appear to own the hangar and the ship. However, we cannot allow a civilian to operate a military-grade vessel without proper licensing and inspection. I'm ordering you to remain docked until a Union inspection team can certify the ship as safe." "How long will that take?" Hay asked. 3 to 6 months." "Months? I can't wait that long. I have no money, no supplies. What am I supposed to eat while you process paperwork?" "That's not my concern, human. Those are the regulations." Hay looked at Bora. The AI's expression was neutral, but her eyes seemed to be watching Hay carefully, waiting to see what kind of captain she would be. Before Hay could respond, a new ship appeared on sensors. It was massive, easily twice the size of the Union patrol vessels. The transponder identified it as the corporation dreadnought Prophet's Edge. "This is getting out of hand," the voice announced over the open channel. "Admiral, the Union has wasted enough time on this. The human can't possibly operate that relic. She has no crew, no training, no support systems. We're moving in to secure the vessel for everyone's safety." "You don't have authorization," replied. "We don't need it. Under salvage law, if a vessel poses a danger to navigation, any corporation with proper equipment can secure it. That ship is a danger." 6 smaller vessels detached from the dreadnought and began moving toward Talus 3. "Captain," Bora said quietly, "they're preparing to board us." Hay felt her anger rising. She'd followed every rule. She'd done everything legally, and still they wanted to take her ship. "Can we launch?" she asked. "Yes, but they'll follow us. And if they fire on us, I cannot guarantee our safety without weapons." "You said our armor is good." Against their weapons, yes, but there are 6 of them plus the dreadnought. Even the best armor has limits. Hay made a decision. Launch, get us out of this hangar. Understood. All crew secure for launch. Oh wait, we have no crew, just you. Please sit down and fasten your safety harness. Hay barely had time to strap in before the engines roared to life. The ancient warship rose from the floor of the hangar on pillars of blue fire. Dust that had settled for centuries swirled in the engine wash. The ship moved smoothly through the massive hangar doors and out into space. Tailless 3 fell away below them, and the stars spread out in every direction. For a moment, Hay forgot about the danger. She was flying again. She had a ship again. Then the vessels opened fire. Plasma bolts streaked across space, bright green against the darkness. They hit the hull and splashed across the armor like water hitting stone. No damage, Bora reported. Their weapons are designed to penetrate energy shields. Our armor is absorbing the energy without significant heating. But they're still shooting at us. Yes, that is technically illegal. They're claiming it's warning shots. Admiral is ordering them to cease fire, but they're ignoring him. More plasma bolts hit the ship. Hay watched the weapons impact on the monitors, feeling helpless. Isn't there anything we can do? I have an idea, Captain. It's not technically fighting back, more like demonstrating our capabilities. Do it. The suddenly accelerated. Not the gradual speed increase of normal ships, but an instantaneous burst that pushed Hay back into her chair. The vessels fell behind as if they were standing still. Quantum engine active, Bora explained. Experimental technology. We can make micro jumps, very short, faster than light transitions. Effective combat range, approximately 5 million kilometers. Hay watched the tactical display. One moment the ships were behind them. Then they jumped, and suddenly they were behind the ships. They're trying to track us, Bora said, but their targeting computers can't keep up. Watch. They jumped again. This time they appeared above the formation, then below, then to the side. Each jump took only a second, but it was long enough to completely disorient the enemy. Their weapons are overheating, Bora reported. They've been firing continuously but haven't hit us once since we started jumping. Captain, I'm receiving a transmission from the dreadnought. The voice was different now. Not angry but frightened. Unknown vessel, cease your maneuvers. You're violating our safety perimeter. Hay almost laughed. We're violating their perimeter. They shot at us first. Shall I respond, Captain? Open a channel. Channel open. Hay spoke clearly and calmly. This is Captain Nahay. I tried to leave peacefully. You attacked me. Now I'm demonstrating that I can fly circles around your ships without breaking a sweat. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to let me go. You're not going to follow me. And you're going to remember that the next time you think about pushing around a human with nothing to lose. She nodded to Bora. Show them what else we can do. They moved toward one of the smaller vessels. The enemy ship tried to turn, tried to run, but they matched every movement perfectly. Then, almost gently, the maneuvering thrusters fired, pushing against the ship's hull. The smaller vessel spun away, tumbling out of control. Not damaged, just pushed. Bora repeated the maneuver with two more ships, spinning them like tops. Their weapons are offline, Bora reported. They've overheated from constant firing. The ships are intact, crews are safe, but their combat ineffective. Can we unseal the weapons now? Hay asked. This feels like an emergency to me. Checking protocols. Yes, Captain. Sustained hostile action qualifies. However, I should warn you. Unseal them. Deep in the hull, locks that hadn't opened in 700 years released. 8 massive rail guns extended from their housings. They looked primitive compared to modern weapons, just long barrels of reinforced metal. But they were aimed at the dreadnought with perfect precision. The radio went silent. Then Admiral spoke, his voice carefully neutral. Captain Nahey, this is escalating unnecessarily. Stand down. Admiral, I'm not the one who started shooting. I'm just making sure everyone understands the situation. I own this ship legally. I'm flying her legally. And anyone who tries to take her from me will regret it. Bora spoke up. Captain, I'm detecting a Union battlecruiser approaching at high speed. Transponder identifies it as Admiral's flagship. Estimated arrival, 2 minutes. Is that good or bad? Unknown, but I suggest we prepare to make our position very clear. The battlecruiser arrived in a flash of blue light, dropping out of faster-than-light travel. It was enormous, bristling with weapons and armor. It positioned itself between thee and the ships. Admiral's face appeared on the main screen. He was, his crystalline body reflecting rainbow colors. His expression, translated through his mechanical face, looked tired. Captain Nahey, I'm going to speak plainly. You're right. You own that ship legally. The corporation violated the law by opening fire on you, but you just demonstrated military capabilities that, frankly, shouldn't exist in civilian hands. What exactly do you want? Hay thought about it. What did she want? A week ago, she just wanted to survive. Now she had the most powerful independent ship in the sector. I want to be left alone, she finally said. I want to make a living. I want the Union to recognize my right to operate this ship, and I want the corporation to pay for the damage to my suit from debris when they attacked me. His crystalline face somehow conveyed amusement. Your suit is damaged. The seals need replacing. That's not cheap. I see. I'll see what I can arrange. 3 months after the incident at Talus 3, Hay stood on the bridge of the and watched ships gather around her. Not enemy ships this time. These were human vessels, and they were here because of her. News of the had spread across the galaxy like wildfire. A bankrupt freight captain turning 3 credits into the most powerful independent warship in known space made for a good story. But what made it a great story was what it represented. Humans had been the youngest species in the Galactic Union, always treated like children who needed protection. The preservation protocols had made sure humans couldn't build serious weapons. Other species could keep their ancient arsenals, but humans had to stay weak. Until Hay found a loophole. Now other humans were searching. They dug through old records, explored abandoned stations, investigated rumors of lost ships from the silent century, and they were finding things. Bora projected a holographic display showing the gathered ships. "Captain, the fleet is assembled. 5 vessels have joined us. The cargo hauler, captained by Minu. The mining ship, captained by Park Sora. The survey vessel, captained by Lee. The passenger liner, captained by. And the salvage ship, captained by." Hay studied each ship. They were civilian vessels, nothing like but their captains had something in common with her. They were all people who'd hit bottom, who'd lost everything, who had nothing left to lose. "They're not a military fleet," Hay said. "No, Captain, but they're loyal, and they're human. That counts for something." The communications panel lit up. Hay opened the channel. "This is Captain Nahay. Welcome, everyone." Minu's voice came through first. He was young, barely 25, and he sounded nervous. "Captain Hay, thank you for accepting us. We heard what you did. We want to be part of it." "Part of what exactly? I'm just trying to make a living." Sora laughed. She was older, maybe 50, with a rough voice that spoke of years in space. "You're doing more than that. You showed the galaxy that humans don't have to accept what they tell us. You found a way to fight back." "I didn't fight anyone. I just defended my property." "Same thing," chimed in. "Look, Captain, we all followed the rules. We worked hard, we were honest, and we all got screwed anyway. The system doesn't work for humans. Maybe it's time we made our own system." Hay felt uncomfortable with the direction this was going. "I'm not starting a rebellion. I'm not trying to change the galaxy. I just want to keep my ship and find work." "Then let us work with you," said. Her voice was gentle but determined. "We heard the Union offered you a contract, special enforcement, dealing with pirates and raiders that the regular Union fleet can't handle. You need support ships for that. You need a crew. Let us be that crew." Hay looked at Bora. The AI's holographic face showed approval. "Captain," Bora said quietly, "Commander didn't hide this ship just for one person. He hid it for humanity. Maybe it's time to share what we've learned." Over the next week, Hay worked with her small fleet. She taught them what she'd learned about the old human technologies. Bora shared technical data, helping them upgrade their civilian ships with salvaged equipment. They weren't warships, but they became tougher, more capable, more ready for whatever came next. Admiral visited them personally to deliver the official Union contract. He materialized on the bridge in a transport beam, his crystalline body glowing in the ship's lights. "Captain Nahay," he said formally, "the Galactic Union recognizes your fleet as an independent security contractor. You'll operate under Union authority but maintain autonomy. Your primary mission is to patrol the outer rim and respond to threats that require unconventional approaches." "Unconventional?" Hay raised an eyebrow. "Pirate groups have become bolder. They've been attacking ships with weapons and tactics that our regular forces struggle against. Your ship, with its ancient technology and modern adaptations, is better suited for these engagements. The Union will pay standard military rates plus hazard bonuses." The money would be good, more than good. Hay and her fleet would be financially stable for the first time in years. but something in Six's expression made her pause. "Admiral, why do I feel like you're not telling me everything?" His crystalline face shifted in what might have been a sigh. "Because you're perceptive, Captain. The truth is, the Union is concerned. The pirate attacks have been increasing, but they're not random. They're organized. Someone is funding them, equipping them with advanced weapons. We don't know who or why." "You think it's connected to what Commander found?" Surprise was evident even through his alien features. "You know about that?" "Bora showed me his logs. He found something at the Galactic Rim, something old and dangerous." "We've been monitoring that region for centuries," admitted. "There have been anomalies, signals that don't make sense, energy readings that shouldn't exist. But every time we send a science vessel to investigate, they find nothing, or they don't come back." "And you want me to investigate?" "Eventually. First, deal with the pirates, prove yourself. Then we'll talk about the bigger picture." After left, Hay called a meeting with her fleet captains. They gathered on the standing around the holographic display table. "You all heard the contract terms," Hay said. "We're officially Union contractors now. That means regular pay, legal protection, and the right to operate as an armed fleet. But it also means danger. The pirates will be hunting our amateurs." "We're with you," Minu said immediately. The others nodded in agreement. The salvage ship captain spoke up. She was quiet most of the time, but when she talked, people listened. "Captain Hay, can I ask something? What's the real goal here? I mean, we're all grateful for the work, but I don't think any of us joined just for the money." Hay looked at each of them. These people had trusted her, followed her, believed in her. They deserved the truth. "Commander hid this ship because he saw something. Something that scared him enough to break the law, to abandon his mission, to wait centuries for the right person to find it. I don't know exactly what he saw, but I think it's still out there. And I think when it comes, humanity needs to be ready." "Ready for what?" Sora asked. "I don't know, but the Galactic Union doesn't let humans build weapons. They say it's for our own good, to prevent war. But what if something comes that requires war? What if diplomacy and trade agreements aren't enough?" Bora's hologram appeared in the center of the table. "Captain, I've completed analysis of Commander's sensor data. I can now show you what he found." The hologram changed, showing a star map. At the edge, far beyond known space, a marker pulsed red. "This is the object's last known position. That was 742 years ago. Based on its trajectory and speed, I've calculated where it should be now." The red marker moved slowly inward on the map, toward civilized space, toward the Galactic Union. "How long until it arrives?" asked quietly. "Unknown. It could be years, decades, centuries, but it is coming." Leaned forward, studying the map. "Has the Union investigated this?" "They have," Bora confirmed. "But every expedition has failed to find anything. The object seems to avoid detection." "Or maybe," Hay said slowly, "it only shows itself to ships it considers threats. Commander was in a warship, a human warship. Maybe that's what got its attention." The room fell silent as everyone processed that. Finally, Minu spoke. "So what do we do?" Hay looked at her fleet, her people. They weren't soldiers. They weren't heroes. They were just humans trying to survive in a galaxy that often seemed stacked against them. But maybe that was enough. We do what Commander wanted. We prepare. We find more ships, more people, more resources. We hunt pirates to fund ourselves and build our reputation. And when the time comes, when that thing at the rim finally arrives, humanity will be ready. She activated her command console, pulling up star charts for the outer rim. Bora, plot a course for the nearest pirate activity. Let's show the galaxy what humans can do. As the engines powered up, Hay felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Not just hope, but purpose. She'd bought a dead hangar for 3 credits and found a sleeping fortune. But the real fortune wasn't the ship. It was the chance to prove that humans belonged among the stars. Not as children to be protected, but as warriors ready to defend them. The fleet moved as one, jumping into faster-than-light travel. Behind them, Talos 3 grew smaller, the dead moon where everything had changed. Ahead of them, the galaxy waited. And somewhere at the rim, something ancient stirred and continued its long journey inward.